What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to explain what adenosine is and why it makes us sleepy, okay? It's very important to know the things that happen in our body so that we can understand exactly why we need to do certain actions in the beginning of the day, the end of the day, and the middle of the day, all the days. And let's just jump into it. So adenosine is a neuromodulator that plays a crucial role in the regulating your sleep-wake cycle. It is a natural byproduct of cellular energy use in the brain, and it builds up and signals to the accumulated mental energy expenditure, which triggers the feeling of sleepiness. So what is adenosine? Adenosine is a chemical compound from the breakdown of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. So ATP is what our body uses to actually for energy, right? You eat proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Well, your body breaks that all the way down to adenosine triphosphate, and adenosine triphosphate is what we actually use for energy. So let's jump into that a little more. It's the primary molecule used to store and transfer energy within the cells of the brain and body. All right, so during wakefulness, your brain cells burn energy throughout the day. They break down ATP, and adenosine is produced as a waste product. Energy balance. The presence of adenosine indicates that the brain has been highly active and is now in an energy debt state. So when you burn ATP, adenosine is the waste product, and so that adenosine builds up in your brain, and that's what makes you sleepy. Kind of cool. So how adenosine causes sleepiness? Adenosine increases the feeling of sleepiness through its actions on specific receptors in the brain, binding to receptors. As adenosine levels rise, the molecules bind to adenosine receptors located in the surface of neurons. And you're probably getting sleepy just listening to me talk about this. So try to stay awake, all right? You may need some caffeine, and I'll tell you why caffeine keeps you awake here in a second. Slowing activity. When adenosine binds to these receptors, it acts like a brake, inhibiting the release of excitatory neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine, and generally slowing down brain activity. This reduction in neural traffic creates the subjective feeling of sleep pressure and drowsiness. So now we're promoting sleep. The accumulation of adenosine is considered the main driver of sleep homeostasis, or homeostatic sleep drive. The longer you are awake, the more adenosine builds up, and the stronger the urge to sleep becomes. So this is a natural thing that occurs in our body every single day. And so it's just important to know that throughout the day, you're gonna get sleepy sometimes because you've built up a lot of adenosine, okay? And then at nighttime, you need to actually clear all that adenosine out, and here we go. The clearance during sleep. Once you fall asleep, the glymphatic system becomes active and the brain clears the accumulated adenosine, resetting the clock. This is why you feel refreshed upon waking, as the sleep pressure has been relieved. So I know not everybody wakes up and they're like, oh my God, I had the best night's sleep ever. I know that's just not how it works, because when I wake up, sometimes I'm like, man, I could sleep for another hour, 2 hours, something like that. But it is important to know that when we do sleep, the glymphatic system is clearing out this adenosine in our brain and actually using that adenosine to build up more ATP throughout the body. So that's really, really fun to hear, because that's why sleep is so important. We need to clear out that adenosine that's been built up so that we don't feel as sleepy, okay? The role of caffeine. So I told you I'd come back to caffeine. Caffeine is a well-known stimulant because it acts as an adenosine receptor antagonist. I'll tell you what that is. This means it has chemical structure similar to adenosine, allowing it to bind to the same receptors. However, once bound, caffeine does not activate the receptors. Instead, it acts as a blockade, preventing the real adenosine from binding and signaling to the brain to slow down, which makes you feel more alert and delays the onset of sleepiness. That's how caffeine actually works. It's pretty cool. It actually gets into that receptor and gets into the adenosine receptor and doesn't allow adenosine to attach to its receptor, so it doesn't. So you don't get sleepy. That's how caffeine works. It's pretty cool because it's not just something it's not just warm. It's not just magic. It's something that's chemical happening in your brain, so that if you drink caffeine too close to bedtime, that's why it might keep you up at night. All right, and there's a half-life with the amount of caffeine that you drink and all this other stuff, but we're just talking about adenosine today. And yeah, that's all I got. If you have any questions about adenosine, feel free to reach out. And that's it. I'm gonna stop there because I know you're probably getting sleepy just listening to me. So get after it, guys. Thanks for watching.